Today we are moving on to the next transformation. Again, what does it mean to transform? To change. Yesterday we learned translations, which is what's a translation? A slide. Today we're going to focus on reflections. And a reflection is known as a flip. If I am writing, you are writing. A reflection is known as a flip. The line of reflection is what it will flip across. It will either flip across the x-axis or y-axis. So it is the line, the shape, write this down, will flip across. It will either be the x-axis or y-axis. The line of reflection is the line the shape will flip across. In my class, it will either be the x-axis or y-axis. So today, your job is to understand what a reflection is, to identify the line of reflection, so is it flipping across the x-axis or y-axis, and to write a rule that represents it. The cool thing is there's no numbers to plug in for these rules. It will just either be the x-axis rule or the y-axis rule. And we're going to explore those rules today and tomorrow. If you have a highlighter, it would be helpful. If you don't, you can use your pencil to highlight the axis. Like you can just shade it. So let's look at this picture right here. Everybody sees this picture? Does everybody see the shape V? What did it flip across? Where's the mirror at? Is it on the y-axis right here? Or is it on the x-axis right here? Say it. The x-axis. So I'm going to take my highlighter. That is my line of reflection. They took the V and they flipped it from the top quadrant to the bottom quadrant. How do you know that they started up here? There's no primes, there's no dashes. So we know that this is the original old shape, and we know this is the new shape. And they took a mirror, put it on the x-axis, and flipped it over. Do y'all understand what a reflection is? Yes or no? Now let's look at the rules. I want you to look at point B. Point B is at coordinate 4. Does everybody agree the x is at 4? What is the y at? 1. That's point B. Now let's look at the new point B and see what happened to that coordinate. So everybody find the new point B. Is it still at 4 on the x-axis? Yeah. But where is it at on the y-axis? -1. Do these coordinates kind of look similar? What happened to the x? Nothing. Does everybody see the x stayed the same, but the y became opposite. It became a negative. So look at the rule right here. It says when you reflect across the x-axis, you take your x and your x stays the same, but the y becomes opposite. That's the rule. It is super easy to learn these rules because it's just flip across the x-axis, x stays the same. So what do y'all think about when we reflect across the y-axis, what's going to stay the same? The y, but the x will become opposite. So the rules are just opposite of each other. Okay? All right, let's go down and let's do some examples. We are going to draw a picture on this first example. We are going to reflect this kite-looking shape across what axis? How do I know that? Because it told me to. So I want you, if you have a highlighter, to highlight the x-axis. If you don't, see if the person sitting next to you can let you use theirs real quick. Or you can use a red pen, just shade that x-axis for me. Everybody good? We are going to reflect this shape across this axis. To do this, it's super easy. Everybody start at point R and ask yourself, how far up from the x-axis is point R? 2. Now go to the x-axis and go 2 down. And put your new R. Everybody should be putting their new R. So again, R was 2 above the x-axis. So instead of being 2 above, I'm going to make it 2 below. In the exact same spot. All right, let's go do Q. Find Q. I am on the x-axis at 1. How far up am I from the x-axis? 4. So instead of being up 4, I'm going to be, so from this spot, I'm going to go down 4, and that is my new Q. And again, I must put a little prime on it because it's new. All right, let's go do point T. Here's point T. How far up am I from the x-axis for T? So instead of being up 5, I'm going to be in the same spot, but down 5. This is my new T with a prime. And we're going to do S. From the x-axis, how far am I up? 4. So I'm going to go to the same spot and go down 4. This is my new S. And then I connect my dots, and my shape should look the what? Just upside down. Easy? Yes? All right. Are the side lengths bigger? No, they are the same. What's the word for same? Congruent. They are congruent. How about the angles? Are the angles bigger? They are the? How about the perimeter? Congruent. All right. How about the area? It's got to be bigger, right? Nope, it's the same. So it preserves congruence. Everything about it is the same. It just flipped over. All right, write the rule. What did we flip across? When we flip across the x-axis, the x stays the? All right, so our rule says, take your x and your y, and x stays the same. Y becomes opposite. So you just put a negative sign in front of it. I love reflections because they're easy. All right, let's do one. And this time we're going to take the same shape. Is this the same shape? But what are we going to do this time? We're going to flip it across the y-axis. So take your highlighter and highlight the y-axis for me. Sit up, please. So instead of flipping up and down, we're going to flip left or right, right? So here is my little kite. Let's start with point R. From the y-axis, I am how many units to the right? 2. So I'm going to go to that same spot and go 2 units to the left. And this is my new R. I don't see everybody drawing it. I don't see everybody drawing it. Okay, let's do Q. From the y-axis, how far is Q over? 1. So I'm going to go to the y-axis and go 1 to the left. Here is my new Q with a prime. Wake up, draw your picture. Okay, T. From the y-axis, how far is T over? 2. So I'm going to go to the y-axis and go 2 to the left. This is my new T with a prime. And the last one is S. I am 3 to the right, so instead of 3 to the right, I'm going to be 3 to the left. And this is my new S with a prime. I draw my picture. All right, I'm going to ask y'all some questions. I want you to say true or false. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? The polygon on the left is bigger than the polygon on the right. True or false? Okay, good. The angles of the polygons are congruent.
True.
I'm going to say it again. The angles of the polygons are congruent. What does congruent mean? They're the same. All right. Good. How about the perimeter of the original shape is twice the perimeter of this shape? False. They are the? All right. How about the area of this polygon is equal to the area of this polygon? Good. Very good. All right. Let's write a rule. When we reflect across the y-axis, the y stays the. So I go like this. I take my x and my y. My y stays the same. Wake up, sit up. And my x becomes opposite. How do y'all feel? Good? Okay. Your assignment will be posted in the Google Classroom. Guys, listen to me. Your answers for rules will either be this one or this one. There's only 2 rules that will work. Make sense? You don't have to plug in numbers. It's just when you reflect across the x-axis, the x stays the, and the y becomes opposite. When you reflect across the y-axis, the y stays the same. Very good. All right, let me get it posted for you.